Well, again, everyone, it's another RavensFilm update. We're been a bit of a while since I did the last one because I did the Blu-ray news video and then took a lot of time to get the sudden death review edited and released for you guys. So, bit of a time where I've been a little bit preoccupied with other things and some other stuff to kind of get you up to speed on here. So, a couple of things before I get into kind of like all the home media stuff and long stories about stuff. Obviously, the sudden death review was just released, so if you guys have not seen it yet, definitely check it out because I put a lot of hard work into it, and it was a very good experience revisiting the film and just producing a very enthusiastic review for it, and my first foray into producing a review of a Van Damme film, so that's always fantastic stuff, and not be the last one, so I'm going to keep my mind open to maybe feature a few others in the future, but definitely got to expand my catalog of Van Damme films and what I've seen, but we'll get around to it eventually, and as I mentioned in possibly a recent vlog a few weeks ago, that the guys in HEMI, I reconnected with them for a live show a few weeks ago up in Chicago, and you can now find the whole show up on the RavensFilm Vimeo account and the HEMI YouTube channel here, and they did their first cover of a Motorhead song, which is Death Forever, and they really pulled it off fantastically well. I was very pleased with the whole show. They performed fantastically. I loved everything they did, and just like it was really fun connecting with the guys again. Had a good time, and I think they'll show it through in the video, which I really kind of put a little extra effort into it and tried to make it as dynamic and interesting as possible. So check it out, guys. Links in the description below as usual. And now moving on to the home media stuff, because I do have sort of the standard type of stuff I talk about and some very unusual type of stuff, which will be the long story stuff. But I had some extra bonus points accumulate at work to use towards purchases, and decided to do a little bit of upgrade here for 3 fantastic films that I already had DVD versions of, but figured it's getting a little crowded over here with the DVDs and Blu-rays all occupying the same rack over here with all the stuff. It's getting a little overflown, so fact of the matter is I can compress 7 Insomnia and The Devil's Advocate into this nice slim package and get an HD upgrade for them. Absolutely fantastic. It was like, for a reason, I was very kind of focused in on 7 here, and it's like I don't even remember the last time I actually watched this fantastic film, and that's something I'm going to remedy this weekend watching this Blu-ray. I've really been high on reconnecting with this fantastic film from David Fincher so much. And Insomnia, good film from Christopher Nolan. The one he did right before Batman Begins with Al Pacino, Robin Williams. It's a good crime thriller. Definitely check it out if you haven't. And Devil's Advocate is like one of those early DVD pickups I had way back when, back in like 2000 or whatnot. It's a really good film. Pacino, again, and Keanu Reeves is a really damn good movie. Definitely check it out if you have not. Really worthwhile. It's like getting those on a nice upgrade. And I have the 7 New Line Platinum Series edition with all the fantastic liner notes and all the special features. And the Blu-ray edition has all the same features. So all 3 of them, one little pack. Fantastic space-saving thing and Blu-ray upgrade. But the big thing here is that in the last couple of months I've been very interested in finally delving into the Laserdisc format, which some people, if you have no affinity for it, if you have no knowledge that much about it, seeing me being excited about getting HD upgrades, why would I go all the way back to an analog format from 2 decades ago? It's the fact that I've just never got into Laserdisc. I never had a player, never had any of this stuff, but I always had the respect for it. Always knew that was a premium level format that I never got to enjoy. And the fact of the matter is there are thousands of titles that have never been transferred into a digital format release. There's stuff still stuck in the VHS and Laserdisc platforms or everything, that format, that have never made the transition, where it's just lack of interest to put it out, or just rights issues get muddled and discarded, and who knows what films of some 90s direct-to-video film that most people don't even remember where those rights have fallen into, what catalog someone's kind of fallen them into. And it's like, regardless of all that, really wanted to get into it. I kind of thought about it about 2 months ago, running around to all the kind of second-hand shops and everything, trying to see if I could find one that was really a steal, something that's really cheap, because I picked up a couple of used VHS players I picked up 2 of them for like $5 total. And one of them works fantastically. The other one I just got because it looked really nice, and it's kind of cool. A little bit more retro, this black, fantastic looking thing. But figured I'm going to go ahead and try, and there was no luck whatsoever. I've tried every place possible, nowhere. And I kind of forgot about it for a little while until my friend Oliver Harper, check out his channel as always, link in the description, that he kind of contacted me with a couple of links to eBay auctions and whatnot, some choice Laserdisc players, and I eventually did purchase one, but unfortunately when it arrived, I had some damage done to it during transit or whatnot, who knows, but when it arrived, it was not fully functional, and despite Oliver jumping on Skype with me for about an hour to troubleshoot everything, grease up gears, work with belts, do stuff here and there and everywhere, it didn't make a difference ultimately, so had to ship the thing back, and I'm waiting for a full refund. Hopefully, possibly, you don't have to get into a thing with a seller who has 100% feedback on their eBay account, so hopefully there's not a problem there. So, waiting on that to happen, and I've already ordered another player from a different seller that will still be a week away from arriving, apparently, so that's that and everything. So, first one was a Pioneer D505. This one's a Damme, which apparently is basically a Pioneer in a different shell. I guess they license out their tech to lesser companies, and they just repackage their players with their own brand names and everything. So basically the guts of a Pioneer Laserdisc player, which is Pioneer was the top level company to go for. They pretty much innovated Laserdisc all over the place. So if you knew you had a Pioneer, you knew you had typically a good quality player. And it's about a mid-range player I'm going for, so hopefully that'll work out well. But long story coming to an end here, I did have to purchase some Laserdiscs because it wasn't good of a player without the discs. And right now I'm at the point where what good are the discs without the player? So unfortunately, the things didn't start out on the best note possible, because I got the first Laserdisc the same day as the player, and we already know how the player worked out, and eventually the disc they sent me was the wrong edition, because this was a sentimental purchase. Obviously, Star Trek movies are not difficult to find on any format, but there is a Star Trek 4 Director's Series Edition release, which has a short, maybe like a 17-minute introduction by Leonard Nimoy. It's a really nice two-toned white and bronze type of packaging. It's always been kind of a sentimental thing that I kind of forgot about for the longest time. It was like remembering it. Always really kind of wanted to have it because it was really nice, and they had a widescreen VHS edition, but there was also the Laserdisc release, and I figured that'd be kind of a nice thing to kind of start off the whole collection with, kind of a sentimental type of thing. Film I really, really enjoy. It's always one of the Star Trek films that always just has that sort of nice nostalgic glow to me, so really wanted to get that. Unfortunately, the seller on Amazon had mislisted. He apparently had it up there for quite a few years, so when I contacted him saying he sent me the wrong edition, he just refunded all my money and said, don't bother sending it back. So, obviously, that works out okay. If I get all my money back, I don't have to expend any extra cost. I can go to half-price books and get rid of it, or wherever the heck I want to. Whatever. But this one came in, the guy who shipped this, the person who shipped this, packaged this thing like it was a fine piece of art. It was just beautiful. When I got it, it was like all nice with tissue paper. It was all beautifully, delicately all put together and folded and taped. I really didn't want to open it, but I had to open Leviathan, you know. I had to open up Leviathan, and it was watching Oliver's Laserdisc collection video from last year again that he mentioned how good the picture transfer was on this, and I need to have this film because I really do enjoy Leviathan. It's a nice, solid, enjoyable sort of sci-fi horror B movie. Peter Weller, Ernie Hudson, a lot of different people in this film really put forward great performances, and some things are not fantastic about the film, but it's still a very nice, enjoyable, easy watch to sit back and enjoy it. And from the director of First Blood Part 2, George Cosmatos, who seems on most of his films, at least with maybe First Blood Part 2, Cobra, Tombstone, his lead actor is apparently, supposedly, end up kind of ghost directing the film themselves, so I really kind of need to really listen to some of his comedy tracks on Cobra and Tombstone to find out exactly what happened there, if he actually tells any kind of truth in that. But Leviathan's a really good film that's, I don't really have anything fresh to say about it. I've always kind of toyed around with maybe doing a review of it in the last month or two or whatnot, but it's like, I've seen so many people do reviews. Oliver's done it, Cecil Good Bad Flicks has done it, Chuck Dowling on his 31 Horror Movies of 31 Days, they've all done it. It's extremely well covered. There's not really, if I did a review, it would just be because I enjoy the film. I wouldn't have anything fresh to say about it. It's the exact same thing everyone else has said, so I'll just say Leviathan is well worth seeing, and this is a letterbox edition, so definitely good on that. And the Shout Factory Blu-ray is, I keep wanting to get it. It's on my Amazon wish list, but it's like, the price just never goes down on the thing. And it's like, to get it with shipping, it's almost like 20 bucks. It just seemed like, for the film in HD, with just like maybe a featurette or two, it seems a little high to buy that. When I just bought like the Star Wars Force Awakens Blu-ray, which has the film and 2 hours of bonus features and a DVD and digital copy for the same price, it seems a little out of whack there in my opinion. So it's like, I got this Laserdisc for half the price I would have paid to get the Blu-ray off of online, so that's good. Hearing that one, it's an amazing picture transfer for the time, and it's a good film. I'll enjoy it once I have a player to watch it on. But another one that's been kind of elusive for me is an outer print DVD release that I did the retrospective of the When a Stranger Calls films and everything. There's 3 of them. The original, the sequel here, and the atrocious fucking remake. But the When a Stranger Calls Back is the one I really enjoyed. The one that I felt was the most consistent, the most enjoyable, still very tense and scary as well. And the DVD is so out of print that people keep jacking out the price so much. There's even a disc replay I regularly go to, which I'll see resales, DVDs and Blu-rays and CDs and video games, all that type of stuff. And they do have a copy of it on DVD for about $14. And it's like, again, it's a bare bones DVD release that has a full frame transfer and everything from like, I don't know, probably 98, 99 or whatnot, early days of DVD. There is only $14 because it's out of print, and you think you can jack up the price and make someone to buy it. And it's been sitting there for months now. I keep going there. It's like a price doesn't go down. I'm not paying that much for a bare bones DVD. I can wait. And this I got for a couple of bucks, to the point where I thought I was getting ripped off or something. I thought, like, again, I thought it was like a mislisting or whatnot. I just didn't think this thing would be that damn cheap on half.com, the eBay site. So it's like, I got this for a couple of bucks, like a third of the price of that DVD and everything. Is like, that I can take. That I can take. Is like, the thing is, this looks like it has never been opened. I opened this thing up from the packaging. This is all shrink wrapped completely. It doesn't look like anyone's ever opened this damn thing. This looks like it's absolutely brand new. I have to double check the listing on it, but I think so. And it's like, you can see it says $34.98 if you can see it, and then value price $14.98. So like, this has apparently been around for some time and got discounted a few times and never sold, and now I own it. And hopefully, again, I'll get a player to play it on, because it's kind of like the one I was really kind of jacked up to get. Is like, it's odd. I mean, a lot of people wouldn't talk that much about it. It's like, I really enjoy the film. I really do. I really like it so much. Just maybe because it is the chase is better than the catch. That you're chasing the film, always looking for the deal, always looking somewhere on Amazon or eBay or whatnot to find the price as low enough that seems like a deal or whatnot. You're not trying to get someone make you pay 40 bucks for an out of print DVD or whatnot. That I finally have it, and once I get this player, hopefully everything works out fine and don't have another thing that's defective or malfunctioning or gets damaged in transit or something like that. I'll be able to enjoy it and watch it and have all that stuff. So that's very good. So it's like, I was following a auction for the proper version of Star Trek 4, but like, I'm not gonna buy anything until I get the player, make sure everything works, and then I'll see if I'm about getting other stuff. And tying back into 7, I was thinking ahead of that, before I purchased that, about the Criterion Edition Laserdisc of 7, because apparently that transfer was struck for one of the bleach bypass silver retention prints, theatrical prints of the film. So it's like that version has never been given a proper release, because when they did the New Line Platinum Series DVD release, they actually did exact color correction. They didn't take one of those silver retention prints. They actually went in and digitally color corrected the film to approximate that look, and I think they've done even further adjustments for the Blu-ray release. So it'd be kind of nice just to see that version and everything, and we'll see. I'm not going to start splurging and everything and just like grabbing everything in sight, but there's a couple places, half-price books, 2 different disc replays that do have a small selection of Laserdiscs. The half-price books had a whole bunch of them, and the fact of the matter is, if I wanted to buy this edition of The Voyage Home, I could have done it at half-price books a week and a half ago. They had it for a lot cheaper than I bought that for. And I just saw a couple titles here and there. The disc replay I went to, they had Alien 3 widescreen and Predator 2 widescreen, and they had the special director's edition of Michael Mann's Thief, which I finally proved it, that yes, that old DVD release we had of the director's edition was struck from the Laserdisc print, and it looks like shit. I've always seen that DVD. I've mentioned it so many times, but the transfer on that one DVD we had from MGM for eons, it just looked bad. It did not look good. I'm sure even for Laserdisc, it wasn't terribly good. There's a lot of grain, a lot of softness. It wasn't a very sharp transfer. And now I found the version of it, and it's like, I don't need to buy it. I just like, I found it, I verified that it exists, now it can be settled and everything. So anyway, even with the When a Stranger Calls Back thing, for a reason they included laser karaoke catalog here with a bunch of like track listings and shit. I have no use for this, whatnot. I'm never going to use the karaoke thing, and that's basically all there is in terms of new media pickups. But we got a little something else to take care of here, because apparently this is a really bad year for celebrity deaths. We've had a lot of people that a lot of people really enjoy, a lot of fantastic artists like David Bowie and Lemmy Kilmister, Glenn Frey of the Eagles, and now we lost Prince. And obviously by having the Purple Rain stuff over here, and the fact that I have, for about like the last 2 years, the Purple Rain poster framed on my wall, says a lot about what I feel about the guy, because when I popped on social media and saw the news, I was in disbelief. I literally didn't think it was true, because I heard the news earlier that someone had been found dead at the Paisley Park facility, and I wasn't going to just jump into like the first news story I saw, especially when it's TMZ, where you kind of get a little bit of that sensationalism, but they just terribly turn out to be right when these things happen, and it was all fully confirmed, and I was in a very down state of mind there. I think I just started listening to his music right then and there, and just how much more emotion I got out of these songs, especially from that fantastic soundtrack. It just really stirred up something very emotional in me. It's like, if I wasn't so tired last night, I would have just sat down and watched Purple Rain after I got home from work, but that's something that's going to be on the queue for the next couple of days or so, to watch that and experience that again, because it is a film I dearly, dearly love. Many years ago, I was in this state of just like, every single week I have to watch this movie. I can't let a week go by without watching this movie again. And it would happen week after week after week. I don't know how long it went. Not saying months and months and months, but it went on for quite a long time. Where it was just like, I have to watch it. I have to put aside the time to watch this again, because I love the film so much. And not intending to do a video review on the film, but there is going to be a link in the video description below to a written review I did a few years ago on the Forever Cinematic WordPress blog. You can read up on that and get my feelings and thoughts about the film, because I really dearly enjoy it. And a kind of interesting thing, kind of a little bit slightly personal, but my friend Dan Dougherty, fantastic comic book artist and stuff like that, independent artist, wonderful guy, friend from way back. Apparently on his Instagram account a couple weeks ago, he posted one of the short videos and whatnot where Prince's Let's Go Crazy was playing on the radio in the background, and his account got suspended by Prince himself because, as many people would know, Prince was very strict about enforcing his copyrights. He's not just going to let someone upload his stuff, even if it is something like that, where just playing in the background somewhere. He really was very strict about enforcing that stuff, so it's like, not going to go ahead and produce a review of Purple Rain now that he's dead, and maybe someone is in charge of his affairs that's not going to be so strict. So it's like, it would seem a little kind of duplicitous on my part. Say, oh no, well he's dead now, I can finally do the review because he's not going to come down on me like atomic bricks. That's not the way to do it. So I'm just going to say, I thoroughly enjoyed a good bit of his music. I don't have like dozens of his albums, but I got compilations. I've got the Batman soundtrack, Purple Rain soundtrack, and I think he was a fantastic, amazing artist, and I think really just channeled so much heart and passion and life through himself, and just fantastic that he was just an artist independent of everything else. It didn't matter what people thought of him, whether stuff was controversial or not. It didn't matter what other people's perception was of what he was, what his music was, anything he was doing. He did what he did because that's what he wanted to do. That was his expression of what he felt inside, and wanted to channel that out. And there's dozens of tracks he's never released, stuff he's produced for himself only, that he's never put out into the world, and who knows if anyone is ever actually going to be able to hear that stuff released. But he's a guy that just did what he did on his own terms, made his own rules. Even that stuff back in the 90s where he didn't go by Prince. He went by that symbol that he had because he had disputes with his record label and everything. So it's like a guy that just did everything on his own terms, and was just a free artist that expressed himself so magnificently well because he was so amazingly talented. And just like one of those artists that just, you gotta respect him. Even if you didn't really care for his music that much, you had to respect what his talent was, what his passion was, what he was able to do with what he had in himself. So that's something I really wanted to celebrate here in this little moment at the end of the video here. And you guys can check out all the links below of everything I've discussed here, as I said before. And I'll be back sometime soon. Not sure what the next Forever Cinematic review will be, but eventually Captain America Civil War will hit, and I'll have a review of that. So we'll see what conjures up in my mind between now and then. It's about a week and a half or so, about 2 weeks thereabout. So we'll see what happens at that point in time. And thanks guys for checking things out here. I wanted to talk about a few other things, but I think I'll split it up into the next vlog. Nothing that's terribly timely or crucial or whatnot, but I'll talk about things, leave them out for the next video because it's pretty long as it is. So thanks guys for watching. Check out the Sudden Death review, and catch up on anything else you might have missed in the last couple of weeks. Hopefully I'll be able to do another Blu-ray news video sometime soon, once a few more things drop that are a little bit more interesting, because it's been a little bit of a dry well. So maybe it'll be like every other week I do one of those things. So, but mainly when something important and significant hits that's worth discussing, I'll produce another one. So it's like, I kind of enjoy doing those. Now that I've kind of revamped the format, I like doing that stuff. So anyway, hopefully that Laserdisc player will arrive in the week coming, and things will work out fine, and we can venture into new exciting territory. So thanks guys for watching. Thank you, Oliver Harper, my friend, for helping me out with this whole debacle with the Laserdisc, and walking me through an hour worth of Skype technical support. So fantastic stuff. Hit up Oliver's channel with the link below. Check out his retrospectives. He just did one on the fantastical Toby Hooper movie, Life Force, so that should be hitting his channel shortly. And wonderful commentaries and all the type of stuff from him. Highly, highly endorse you guys checking that out if you've not already. So, go stop blathering and get the hell out of here. Thanks guys for watching. Hit me up on social media below. Take care. Bye-bye.